guys, today we are going to learn about how to lose belly fat. Now this is a big exciting place to focus on when we want to lose weight, right? It's like that the midsection. It's that part that we all look at and we're like, why is it stuck? Why is it stubborn? And why it doesn't go anywhere no matter how much I'm exercising and dieting. So I'm going to talk to you about the reasons why you might not be able to lose the belly fat, and then I'm going to give you a 3-stage process to be able to lose the belly fat, because it's not, there's no secret or magic about it. It just takes the right quality of practices in the right order. So some reasons that you might not be losing belly fat is you're not losing belly fat. So here are some of the reasons why. You ready? The first one is you're drinking alcohol. Now alcohol, I would either eliminate it or really reduce your intake to like 1 to 2 drinks a week. I mean, and that's the most that I would recommend. Like if you want to really prioritize the belly fat, focus on, am I drinking alcohol and how much and how is that affecting me in the long run, okay? Because that is a major issue. The next problem that a lot of us will be dealing with when we're not able to lose belly fat as much as we maybe have done in the past is our age. As we're getting older, you've probably heard me say this a million times, our body's starting to decline, our muscle mass is declining, our metabolism is declining, our energy levels are declining, we're just starting to decline, and so the ability to lose the belly fat becomes a bigger problem just because of age. But it's not impossible. Let me tell you, you can do it. You might be doing the wrong workouts. You know, if you love spin classes or, you know, those high intense boot camp classes or all those like high energy workouts, I know they're fun. I mean, I like them too. But when we're not prioritizing strength training, then that is not, it's not working. And I'll show you the strategies today on what to focus on. But if we're doing the wrong workouts, we're defeating the purpose. We're getting good cardio effects, but we're not helping the actual problem of losing the fat. Maybe we're eating too many processed foods. Now these are the problems of why you might not be losing belly fat. Eating too many processed foods the body doesn't prioritize those calories as well as it does whole foods. So look at how many processed foods you're eating throughout the day and eliminate or cut back, reduce that, and replace that with whole foods. That's going to help your body work better, your metabolism boost up while it's digesting those foods, and it's just overall better for you in all areas. So if you don't want to eliminate it together, totally, just reduce how much you're eating. Another problem you might be having is doing the wrong foods. You know, are you prioritizing the wrong foods? And I'll talk about that today. I'm going to give you a 3-step strategy. But look at your foods. Like, have you ever tracked the foods that you eat in a day? It's a lot more telling than we think. Like, we think we know what we're doing until we actually write it down or track it. And it's a whole other story. Maybe your workouts are not hard enough. Easier workouts. Like, you're not taxed in your workout, right? Like, you're not pushing yourself. And I don't mean like running as fast as you can. I'm talking about those strength training. Like, are you prioritizing your strength training? Are you looking at progressively getting stronger over time, and what are the areas that you're doing that? How are you doing that? And are you tracking that? Because that's all very important too. Blah, 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 blah. What am I saying? Stressed out. So if you're overly stressed out and you're not dealing with the stress, because stress is something we can't control how much stress we have in our lives, but we can control how we are affected, how we allow ourselves to be managed by that stress. And I know it's a little dark in here, guys, so it's really dark and gloomy outside. I have my ring light on and it's just not doing it. But anyway, so the extra stress in our body, that cortisol, that hormone, when we have chronic stress pumping through our body, it is more prone to store the body fat. So, and that goes to our belly, especially women over 40, hello, that's where the body is settling in the fat because of our changing hormones. So deal with your stress, manage it, find ways, do what you enjoy. I can give you all the ideas in the world, but if it doesn't work for you, it's not going to even help you. So find meditation, yoga, walking, getting massage, do journal time, whatever. Like, find something that you like to do and do it more often. Prioritizing your sleep. If you're not sleeping at least 7 or more hours a night consistently, that is going to, I mean, there's studies, so many studies. You just go look online on, the impact of lack of sleep to our body weight and fat. and it's a big problem. Like people that are not getting enough sleep, you know, it's just easy for them to gain an extra 20 to 30 pounds without even changing much about what their normal day-to-day life. So sleep is crucial. And what did I write there? I don't even know. What does that say? Oh, not motivated. Can't even read my own writing. You're not motivated to do it. Like, it's too easy to stay where you're at because it's just comfortable, right? It just, for a lot of us, we get so caught up in worrying about how hard it's going to be to eat better, how hard it's going to be to do a workout and do all these things that we know are good for us. So it's just not motivating for us to start. So we're okay here. We're not in any kind of danger of our life being any different than it is now. But if we want to change something, we have to get to that point of being motivated. All right, so I'm going to go through the 3 stages that you have to look at when you want to lose belly fat, because it's not just losing weight. So belly fat, I want you to consider the fact that there are 3 stages, and in each stage your body's going to go through a change. It's going to feel differently. You're going to have to prioritize different factors. So the first stage is just if you have extra weight on your body to lose, like over 20 pounds, you're going to want to prioritize getting that weight off first. Your body's going to lose fat all over, and it's not going to prioritize the fat loss in your belly until you've more than likely gotten rid of a lot of the extra fat everywhere else, okay? Not completely, but again, like if you have a lot of extra weight to lose, you're not going to be able to just say, I want to lose it in my belly, I'm going to do tons of crunches, and I'm going to lose this fat. It doesn't work that way, okay? So if you want to get your belly fat off, stage 1 is if you have extra, say, 20 or more pounds to lose, then you're going to want to focus on that first. So how do you do that? Well, it's your calories, okay? So you want to be in a slight deficit, and you want to prioritize protein. Where have you heard that before, right? I sound like a broken record. But let me tell you this. This is everything right here. So if you want to lose your weight, prioritize your calorie range. I'm going to tell you how to figure that out, just basic and easy, and you're going to get in your protein. If you focus on those 2 things, that is the easiest way to start to reduce the fat. Again, you're going to want to do your workouts too, but I'm talking about nutrition. This is nutrition stuff today. And calorie-wise, you want to look at your current body weight, and you want to multiply it by either 11, 12, or 13. If you're somebody, say, who's a little bit on the shorter side, maybe look at the going towards 11. And if you're super tall, go 13. If you're somewhere in between, choose 12, or you can choose any one of them. They're still most likely in a deficit to what you're eating now. So you're going to take your body weight, multiply it by 11, 12, or 13, and that is going to be your calories that you're going to consume in the deficits every single day. All right, and this is actually the easiest stage, to be honest. Out of the 3 stages, this is the easiest stage. You're not going to be as hungry. You don't have to worry about so many different things right now. It's just really getting that extra weight off, okay? And yes, moving. You want to get in your steps. Find a program. You could just start weight training if you're not already doing that. Those are all on the aside. I'm talking about nutrition, because nutrition is key. Like, you can't out-exercise a good diet. You guys have heard that all the time too. These are so important. I'm just repeating them. But you want to focus on, am I getting a deficit, and am I not in an extreme deficit so that I, have extreme cravings and then I completely fall off track. I want to have a slight deficit so that I can continue to lose the weight, and I want to prioritize protein. Let carbs and fats fall where they may. Prioritize protein for now. As long as you're focusing on getting in the calories, the number of calories, and the amount of protein, I would say whatever your body weight is, do 1 gram of protein per body weight. So for this example, I'll say 150 is the example. So 150, you would do 150 times 11 would be your number here, by 12 and by 13, okay? And then you're going to do 150 grams of protein of those calories. So whatever calorie range you're going to be following, so say it's like 1,700, 1,900, 2,000, then you're going to take 1,900 calories, say for example, you're going to eat that amount of calories every single day, and out of those 1,900 calories, 150 grams is going to come from protein, okay? The rest you can let carbs and fats. I would say, again, choose the whole foods, not so many of the processed foods, and stick to this until you lose your weight. There's other things that can help you, but honestly, this is it. It's as simple as possible. This is stage one. Once you get that extra body fat off of you, and then you start to see your body shape change a bit, because again, you're doing your strength training, right? And you lose that extra 20 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever you got to lose, then you could go into stage number two. Now, stage number two, this is where you start to notice you're going to get a little more hungry. Your body's going to really start to fight that extra fat loss at this stage, because now it's got to work a little bit harder, and it likes where it's at, right? It's more comfortable to stay at this stage. It's going to take more work. You're going to have more energy dips at this stage because, again, lower body fat, lower weight. Your body was happier here because it was easier to maintain. Now you're going to have to work a little bit harder, and this is where you're going to be hungry, but you can manage this. Again, you want to keep your protein, so you want to prioritize again that protein. You might need to switch up your calorie range a little bit. Again, that's to be expected. And then if you're strength training, you want to make sure that you're getting enough energy for your workouts and your muscle building. But for the most part, we're prioritizing the belly fat. So that is going to come slightly second, where this is going to be first. So you might need to play with your calories a little bit. So maybe you're going to change up between 11, 12, and 13, and just go between them, right? Like take one calorie range and do that until it stops working or you plateau, and then go into another one, even if it's a little bit higher. Okay, that sometimes will create allow the body to lose. So play around with the calories, but you're going to prioritize your protein, prioritize your calories, and at this stage, and this is where it's kind of fun to play with the other macros when you're at this stage too, is to reduce your fat intake. You want to still get your fat, but per gram of fat, there's 9 calories per gram of fat. But in protein and carbohydrates, there's only 4 calories per gram. So you're getting more calories per each fat gram than you are with the protein and the carbs. So I would say to reduce your fat intake, just drop it. You still need healthy fat, but drop it. And in that drop, increase your carbohydrates. And let me tell you why. Because carbs are not bad. If you're increasing the right carbs, obviously, not like your white sugar junk, okay? Good starchy carbs. So the reason why this is good at stage 2 is because, again, your energy levels are going to drop because now you've lost body fat and your metabolism will slow down a bit, which means your energy levels are going to slow down a bit, which means your workouts might start to suffer a little bit energy-wise. You might start to feel more hungry. So in order to combat all those issues, you reduce your fat intake. So again, from 9 calories per gram, now you're going down to 4 calories per gram. You're increasing the carbohydrate intake. That's going to make you feel a little bit better right in the moment because you're like, ooh, I got that good, quick energy. And it's going to help with your workouts. So you want to prioritize those around your workouts. So your energy levels are up for the workouts, so you can keep pumping those out. And again, it's going to reduce the cravings. Like, because when we get to this hunger part, our cravings go out of control. So that's what's going to help take care of that. Again, but you still want to be in your deficit, not too much. Play with these 3 numbers. Play with your protein. Make sure that's always where it needs to be. And then drop your fat a little bit and increase your carbohydrates. So you're still in that deficit. You're following those calories, but you've just shifted up how you're changing up your nutrients. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that helps. So once you get down to this stage, now, after this stage, if you get to stage 3, now this is where everything goes to that extreme. So if you really want to have like that physique, like you want to have like stream-like abs, and you want to almost look like a competitor, because this is where this stage is. And at this stage, I would just first of all ask, is it really a goal of yours to get and stay at this stage? Because this stage is pretty hard. Like, this is a challenge, but we can do it, right? And we can enjoy it, and we can go back up and down between these, not gaining 20 pounds, but we can go between these 2 systems of eating the right amount of calories broken up, and then maybe dropping. This is where you would see typical programs where they have their base program here, like losing, and then they go to like the shred section, okay? So this is really where this comes into play, where you're dropping a little bit more and you're playing around with the macros. Now in the 3rd stage, this is where like a competitor goes. So in my experience, again, I competed once, and it was a great experience to learn what what that felt like, what that looked like, how that lifestyle is, and how challenging it is, and how much respect I have for people who can continue to do that, because it takes a lot out of your energy, your mindset, your life, you know, and it really does affect your body in a lot of ways. Things that I don't want to keep putting myself through, so I like to stay in the happy zones. But if this is something you want to really play around with, you're going to have to play with, again, your calories, being super, super strict with, are you tracking your calories? So you want to really make sure, even if you're off by a couple hundred, it's going to hurt your results. So again, that's why I say, is this worth it for you? You might want to just hang out here and be happy, because you're going to look darn good at this stage. But if you want to, say it's just, you know, something you've been wanting to do, or you want to think of competing, or you want to see how that looks, you know, and if you're really motivated to do that, great. So you're going to have to track. You're going to have to look at your volume, your high volume foods. Say things like your vegetables. You're really sticking strict to your clean eating foods, like your whole foods. Dropping any of the processed foods, it's really not going to help you at all. Think low, lean protein sources are going to be your best bet here. Vegetables, okay, think of like your greens. I mean, I know you guys have heard like the competitors' diets is usually with tilapia and broccoli. I mean, and that's not a lie. So it's going to be a little bit boring, but that's why they do it, because that works. So you're going to want to really focus on the high volume foods, keeping the fat lower, okay, keeping that intake lower. Playing around with the carbs, you can do kind of a little carb cycling, but the protein needs to stay where it's at. You need to keep prioritizing your protein. Okay, and at this stage, I would say if you are drinking alcohol, you really are going to have to think of cutting it out altogether. Or, I mean, seriously reduce it, like slash it, because this is going to kill your results too. And these are just the basics. Like this with your exercise will get you that streamlined look, okay? But again, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes prioritizing the important parts, like not dieting, not doing endless sprints of cardio, and doing all the things to burn off all the extra calories. That's not going to help us. Again, you just want to focus on the calories. You're in a slight deficit, prioritizing protein. Once you get those additional or extra body weight off, like the added weight, and then you want to get to stage 2, and maybe you play around with your fat. Like this is actually an okay place to be. You can play between this and going up in your fat again. You can increase that carbohydrate, and again, take pictures, measure your body, see the results. If you can, I would say go and get your body fat tested. That would be a really a fun experiment to do. Go get the DEXA scan. Those are pricey, but really worth it, and the most accurate anyway. Everything else is more of a guesstimation. But for me, I definitely think that nothing beats measurements and photos, because you can see the changes. You literally see the numbers, whether they're shrinking or rising, and you see the body physique change in your photos. So I hope this helps. Just give you a little bit more idea of like, okay, belly fat, it's not just like I'm going to do a bunch of crunches and I'm going to drop my calories. I need to follow a system, and my body works in this system where it's going to lose the body fat everywhere first, right, all over my body, and then once I get down to a low enough body fat in my, my numbers, then I could really see the changes in my abs, right? And so don't just think you're going to do a bunch of crunches and it's going to work. So if you have any questions or comments you want to share below. I hope this was insightful and helpful, and I will see you, my chairs are making noise again, I will see you in tomorrow's live video. Have a great day, guys.